Geminis, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for February 1st through the 7th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology, which if you are new to the channel, be sure to click the link for more information. All right, Gemini, so a lot going on this week. I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you in detail. But if you do have any questions, please comment down below because, like I said, there is a lot, and so I'm going to be going through this rather quickly. Now, these first couple days, we've got still Mercury squaring up to Uranus, your ruler, who's been going through a lot of transformation and change. Specifically, I would say with your guys' maybe relationships, your one-to-one connections, changing your perspective of relationships, but really your ruler over Pluto and now coming off of that retrograde. I think this week you guys are going to feel more momentum. You're going to have more energy. There's this transformed you. And I think these first couple days just integrating it. And if you are feeling some erratic energy, like wanting to break free, as there has been with this square up to Uranus, particularly with your career, your work, your public life, or anything that involves that productive stuff, taking it nice and slow, integrating it these first couple days of the week, it can be fantastic. And like I said, just continuing to move forward with all this stuff that has either transformed or that you've learned over these past few weeks. Now, this Wednesday time period and pretty much this work week, we've got a few sextiles, which are quite nice. One is Mars sextiling up to that Pluto. So with this, you guys could be feeling quite motivated to express yourself. I think you've probably been noticing this quite recently. Mars in your 5th house helping you assert your ideas, express yourself, create things. There's probably a lot of motivation here to do so, and maybe follow your interests, your hobbies for some of you. But a great middle part of the week for that. Sextiling up to Pluto is really saying that there's been this transformation, and it could be very strongly helping you really cultivate the things that matter to you in life. Now, along with that, Mercury will be sextiling up to Chiron, so you guys could be feeling quite healed in the process, which is quite nice. Maybe that healing with relationships or whatnot, but it's really helping you heal what's possible in life, which is that Chiron in that 9th house. So quite good, quite rejuvenating. Also, the sun will be sextiling up to Saturn, so there is this patience and discipline that I think will be easy this middle part of the week with this harmonious aspect. All other things being considered, and of course comparing this to the other weeks, but there's been this discipline for you to take care of your daily activities, maybe cultivate your work or your crafts at work, maybe do some self-improvement with Saturn in that 6th, and I think it can be excellent for that, especially for understanding more about yourself on that deeper level. You've got the sun in your 8th house really illuminating what really matters in life, what's really true, what's really deep with you and your external environment and the people in your life or whatever it might be. So that's a good source of energy for you, a good source of motivation to really dive deep and express the truth of life with that sun in the 8th. So that's the first half of the week, basically. Then this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we've got quite a few, which I'll break down. It's actually a lot simpler than it looks. Venus is going to be conjoining up to Pluto. So there are continued transformations, but nowhere near these past few weeks because, that was your ruler and that was Mercury who was going retrograde over Pluto. But there are some things changing here, and I think specifically with your self-expression, and it could be quite good, in fact. I think maybe the way you express yourself through those one-to-one connections. So being open to changing the way you express yourself, I think, is always important with a conjunction with Pluto. Being open to change in relationships, all coming from your perspective, of course, on relationships first, changing yourself first in that regards, and maybe even getting some alone time, some spiritual time out that might be needed, and your routine might need to be changed to accommodate that. Now, that Venus will, of course, be squaring up to Uranus. So again, if you are feeling that compulsive, wanting to break free energy, maybe with the work or the career stuff, just taking it nice and slow over the weekend and being patient and integrating that with what is changing. Because again, there's a lot of things changing with your relationships, with the way you express yourself, etc. Now, what's nice is that Venus will be sextiling up to Mars this weekend. So enjoying asserting yourself. And I think this is enjoying that self-expression, in fact, and maybe some interests or hobbies over the weekend. Now, also over the weekend, the sun will be squaring up to Mars. So in that regards, I think with the deeper stuff and what's really meaningful to you, being patient with that, I think will be important. If you do feel any frustrations, just taking it nice and slow. But if you are called to take some action, to really dive deep, to get into the bottom of things, over the weekend, whether it's with, again, work, relationships with yourself, primarily through transformation, then it is excellent with that aspect. Now, the sun does sextile up to Uranus over the weekend, making it quite inspiring, in fact, and there is a good depth, I think, and easiness to express what really matters into your career, into your work, or into the productive things that you might be involved with. But if it is just a relaxing weekend for you, it could just be easy going for you to express yourself. Now, the last aspect of the week is Mercury, your ruler, trining up to this Jupiter North Node conjunction, which is quite nice. He's already been bouncing around this position, so this is the last and final transit of this year with this. And again, this is symbolizing more awareness, more insight about your life path, which is shifting for you to communicate, to socialize, to maybe do some reading, writing, maybe take care of some practical things, or really get into the practical aspects of life. You know, this is your house. And with the North Node and Jupiter, this is all for the next, well, the North Node's the next 2 years. But Jupiter here for the next 6 months, still learning a lot about this. There's still a lot of opportunities with these things, and I think those insights can help propel you more into this new life path of this more communicative, maybe social and practical aspect of life. All right, Gemini, so have a great one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.